Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm doing something a little bit different to what I normally do, and today you're not going to just see me sitting here, you're going to see me a bit of work in progress, working on a project. And the project you're going to see me working on is basically how it's come about. This room I'm sitting in right now used to be our sitting room. And we used to have a colour scheme. We changed the colour scheme like various times, but we used to have a colour scheme that was like purple, teal and green, and I actually crocheted a poof that matched. And we bought some curtains. We've got blinds up in here, wooden blinds, and we bought some curtains from a bargain bucket at IKEA. And these are the curtains. They're like an eyelet curtain, and there's white, green and purple and things. No teal, but they still did go. And we never ended up putting them up because we didn't end up putting the curtain pole up in here. But then there's no really use for them now because we moved where our sitting area is to like the back of the house. And yeah, so I've got this fabric that's been sitting around, so I decided that I was going to make a toile with it for different garments because there's quite a lot of fabric. So what I decided to do is make a toile, but I thought I'd make a wearable toile, so if I like it I'll actually wear it. So I thought, well, what pattern would I like to have a go at making? And I was having a look through some of my craft magazines because I do keep them, and I'd actually got issue 5. Like, this is probably a few years old now. It could be like 4 years old maybe, but I've got issue 5 of Simply Sewing magazine, and in it is Lisa Comfort, and you can make her tulip skirt. And back when Simply Sewing first was around, when there was a brand new magazine, the first few issues, they put full-size patterns in them. So what you're going to see is me having a bash at making the tulip skirt by Sew Over It. And you can buy this pattern directly from Lisa as a printed or PDF, but it was available in issue 5. Simply Sewing magazine, which obviously you couldn't buy this now, but you could download it. Say if you've got an iPad, you can go on the newsstand and you could download it from there. So that's what you're gonna see this time. So I'm not. Hopefully you get some enjoyment out of it, and I'll see you in the next stage. Hello, I'm back. Now what I've done is I'm at the next stage. Oh, hang on, I've got my headphones on here. I'll take them off. Yeah, basically, I'm on the next stage along now. I've got the pattern piece out of the magazine, and I've traced the back piece, how well you can see that, and the waistband, and I've just traced out the short version. I will probably make it shorter than this, but so I've just gone straight into the short version. And what I was interested in, actually, I wanted to see how big the hem is, because I wanted to know what length it's going to be. Well, if you're really interested in doing this skirt, even though you can get the back issues of these digitally, it might be better that you just get the pattern from Lisa, because I've had a look. And this is issue 5, and it's only got. Hi Jack, I'm filming. Okay, hi, it's my youngest son. It's basically a 3-part, so this is only part 1. So I wanted to see how much the hem is taken up by, but I'm not going to know because I bought the issue 2 digitally just a moment ago, and I still couldn't get the info because it's a 3-part, well, no, 3-part. So I'm going to have to buy another issue, and one issue for digitally was $5.99. So if you haven't got any of them, you've got to you know, pay $5.99 3 times to get this pattern. And if you do it digitally, you'd have to download it as well. You wouldn't get it. So basically, buy the pattern from Lisa if you wanted. Bye. Hey, I'm back. So this is what I've done. Basically, I forgot to mention this on the last one. I came in here with a pair of scissors, pen. Well, I've just put my pens in with me. I just took a light one out because these are Sharpies. I suspected when I used them it was going to go through, and it did a little. So I'm glad I used a light colour. And I bought my little stand with my weights on it. So and I bought the pattern and my plain pattern paper. It's just got little dots and crosses on it. And I basically lay that on top, put some weights on. I probably could have done with giving it a bit of an eye in the pattern and the pattern paper, but I haven't. I've just gone for it. So this is what I have. I have a waistband, and I'm going to be cutting 2 of those on the fold for the outer fabric, well, for the fabric in general, and cutting 2, is it 2 on the fold? And 2 on the fold for interfacing. So that's what it says. I've made sure I've wrote what it says on there. And it says to cut 2 pairs of pockets. That's going to be the pocket. And then this is the back. You're going to cut 2 of these. There's a centre back seam on this, so you don't cut on fold. I've marked in the darks. Obviously, because I've drawn it in pink, you cannot really see it, but you know why I did it in pink. And this is the front. So it looks quite unusual, doesn't it? This is the front piece, that's the top, that's the bottom. But I suppose that's where the tulip comes from. But you will be folding pleats into this like this. And that's the front piece. And this is the pattern that came in the magazine. So this is the side with the pocket and the front of the skirt, and that's the back. And the back is on here. I don't know if you can see that very well because the lines, they're quite faint on the pattern, but when you look at them you can see them perfectly well. So basically from here I'll tidy everything away, and I'll make sure I press my fabric, and then I can start pinning or putting weights on and cutting that out. So that's where I am so far. So when I've got some more to show you, I'll be back. Okay, I've been to I'm a Fabric. I have nipped and had a drink, been in the garden, changed the chickens' water and give them some corn, and collected my eggs. So I've done a few bits in between, but I've laid out my skirt pieces. Haven't pinned the pocket down yet, but I have pinned one facing, but I have to do that twice because you do 2 of those, and I haven't done the interfacing. But this is where I'm at so far, and I've done a couple of tailor's tacks on the darts. So that is where I am for now. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay, I'm back. I've cut out all my pattern pieces now, and I've marked all my, I've clipped all my notches. I've marked where the pleats are. That's on my front piece. That's my back piece with my tailor's tacks. You need a zip. I think it's 10 inches long. Mine's much longer, so I'll either cut that down or just do it as long as I like. And I've got my 2 pairs of pockets, and I've got my 2 waistbands. I just need to interface, I think, one of those. And I think the next stage is, I think you're going to be sewing your side seams. So but I need to read ahead and see how Lisa puts this together. So watch this space. Bye. Scrap what I just said a second ago. You don't sew the side seams. You pin your pleats in and then you tack them in place. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've tacked my pleats into place on my front piece, and I'll just move that aside so you can see. And I've drew with a heat erasable pen my darts on my back pieces. I haven't done the other piece yet, but I'll be doing that when I've put the camera down. Okay, today is the next day. Last night, before I finished off, I sewed in the darts, and it tells you to press them towards the centre back, and I've done that on both pieces. Now I'm heading off to the overlocker to edge stitch all the sides, and what I do is, where the notches are, sometimes when you do your edge stitching, I'm doing mine on the overlocker, sometimes that disappears, so I put a little disappearing pen mark here. Now I've overlocked my skirt pieces. Now I'm about to overlock all the edges of the pocket pieces. This can be tricky because it's on a curve, but you just have to go in a steady pace. Next, you get your front piece and put it on your table, and the right side is facing you, and you take one of your pocket pieces and place it right side down, and you match up the notches on your skirt and on your pocket piece, and then you pin in place. I'm going to pin the rest of it. Then you sew down here at 1.5 centimetre or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance down here. I have stitched that in place. I hope you can hear that. I've stitched that in place, and now I've pressed the pocket towards the outside, and you have the seam going towards the pocket. Now you repeat this on the other side, and then you do this on the back pieces as well. Now I've done that to all the pocket pieces. Now what I've done here, I've laid my front piece down right side up, and I've laid one of my back pieces over, and I've basically pinned it together along the pocket edge and all the way down here, and this is where I'm going to sew. Now, to make it really clear for you, I've done a disappearing or heat erasable pen, so this is where you'll start stitching. You'll go down here, and then you'll go, basically seam allowance, 5/8 of an inch or 1.5 centimetres. You go up to here, and then you're going to go all the way down to here, and you're going to do that on both sides. Okay, I've stitched all of that down. Now I've given it a little press, and I was expecting it to say press your seams open, but it actually doesn't. It tells you to turn your skirt right way out and make sure your pockets are in the inside. So I'm going to do as I'm told for a change. I haven't cut out my interfacing for my waistband yet, so I'm about to cut out those two pieces now, and then I'm going to apply them to my two fabric waistband pieces. Now I've got two waistband pieces now, both interfaced, and because mine is such different colours, I've had a look at my skirt and I've had a look at the colours, and I've decided that I want the pink one to be the visible bit of the waistband, so that's the one I'm going to use for the next stage. And I'm going to be basically pinning the waistband, just the one piece, to the top of the skirt and stitching it down. I just want to let you know, if you buy issue 6 of the magazine, this is the only stage the magazine will get you to do, is just to pin that waistband along there and to stitch it in your 1.5 centimetre seam allowance or your 5/8 of an inch. The only added thing you get in that issue is if you wanted to add piping to that seam line there, but if you don't want to, that is all it will get you to do. So if you are going to buy it via the magazine, the digital magazine, then just bear in mind this is all it will get you to do in issue 6. So maybe get issue 7, or not at all and just follow my instructions. Just get the issue 5 and then follow this. Okay, I'm going to stitch that. I've skipped forward a little bit. I was planning on showing you what it looked like when I pinned the zip in. So basically, all I did is I stitched the waistband in, which I told you I was going to do. I pressed the seam towards the waistband, and I've applied the zip. Basically, you apply the right side to the zip and stitch that down there to the stopper. You flip that over. You basically, I do the zip up, I flip it over, pin it, and then undo the zip, and then I stitch down there, and that's where I'm at now. Okay. Now I've pinned the other waistband piece, and I've placed it right sides together, and I've pinned all around the top. And now you'll stitch all around the top where the pins are. The rest of it, when we turn it out, is going to be by hand, but we are going to be understitching the facing to the hem, to the seam, sorry. Hello, I'm back. There's been a slight change since I last did a little video. I tried the skirt on and I felt like it was a teeny bit restricting on the waistband. So I basically, well, if I went by my measurements, the skirt was going to be too big, so I'm a little bit surprised that it was a tad snug on the waistband. It wasn't so much the band, it was basically where the top of the skirt met the band. There was actually quite a lot of room on the band. It was where the top of the zip was. So basically what I've done is I've picked the waistband off. I've actually cut a new, well, I've added a little bit of fabric onto the waistband because I decided to have a button finish instead. So I've now only got the zip going up to the waistband, and then I've added a button waistband to the top. So this is how I'm looking now. If you can see, I've got a button enclosure here, and my zip just goes to here. So I'm really delighted actually. Even though this is a toile, I would actually wear it. So it's all hemmed and everything now, and I'm really delighted to have a skirt out of a curtain that I bought out of a bargain bucket at IKEA, and that we weren't going to use them anymore. So I think it's a good use of fabric. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've bought you, and hope you've enjoyed that I've managed to do video with all these little clips. I don't know if I'm going to just pop my face on here at the end of this video just to say bye properly. Okay, bye. So I hope you've enjoyed that sew along, and I'm really pleased I've managed to learn how to piece a few videos together. I haven't learned how I could put photographs up on the screen while I'm on it, but at least you've seen a few little pictures during the video. If you want to see the pictures on a still, they'll be in my blog. So if you go to the description of this video, there'll be a link to the blog post that's attached to this. And if you do like that kind of thing, where you see me working along, a bit of a sew along like that was, or you want, you know, I might be able to film me actually sewing at times. If you do like that kind of thing, and maybe I'll bring more of that. So just let me know. Please comment and like the video if that's the kind of content you might be interested in seeing more of. So but yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.